Want to start investing, but worried about investing costs? Worry not. There's an investing revolution going on with free investing and everyone's talking about it. In this video, I'm going to be doing a quick review on the Freetrade app, and I'll specifically be covering what is it and where did it start, what are the key features and walking through the app, and I'll finally be sharing my conclusion on whether you should actually use it. Hello and welcome to The Nimble Nomad. My name is Arjun and this is the channel where we share money related tips, tricks and hacks to survive and thrive in the UK. Now, I don't like wasting time, so let's get into it. But before I do want to clarify that this video is not sponsored by Freetrade in any shape, way and form. Freetrade is the new investment app that's available. It's a new and shiny app, an investment platform which was built completely from the ground up and is a direct competitor to some of the legacy investment platforms that are available in the UK. The app was started by three guys.
We are three co-founders. One accountant, that's me, an investment banker, and a software engineer.
Who worked for a consulting firm, David, Alan, and Victor. And basically the app came out of an idea when Alan, who is the CEO of Freetrade, moved from Canada to the UK. And he wanted to start investing in the UK stock market and realized that the investment platforms that are available to most people who are retail investors in the UK are really clunky, very complex and difficult to use. And most importantly, they were really expensive when it came to fees. So when he started thinking about it, that's how Freetrade was born. And the whole concept of free trade actually is that it gives you the option to buy and sell investments in the form of equity and securities completely free. Now this is not actually completely true, and I'll get into this in a little bit more, but basically the platform has been around since 2016. The three guys started this around that period. Initially got funding for the platform through VC funding and a crowdfunding campaign, which absolutely took off.
So investors, please come talk to me.
And since then, they have really established themselves in the investment community in the UK and are now expanding globally. So the plan is for the company to expand to and be available to all European countries in the EEA region and other countries globally such as Australia. The main thing before you start or even consider investing in Freetrade is that Freetrade is regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority and is protected by the FSCS protection scheme. So absolutely a legitimate company, and any investments and funds that you hold within the company will be protected up to the tune of £85,000 per person per account. So how does it actually work? So Freetrade, unlike other investment platforms, does not actually have a desktop website. They do have a website which you can access, but the website is primarily designed to provide information about Freetrade as a company and the kind of offerings that they have. The main functionality of how you actually use Freetrade is through a mobile application, which you can download either through the Google or Apple application store. So the main thing that you need to know about Freetrade is that Freetrade actually provides three different types of accounts. So they provide a general invest account, a stocks and shares ISA, and a Freetrade Plus. Now I'll go into what each one of these is in a bit more, but before I do, the main thing you need to know about Freetrade is that they operate under a freemium model.
So our baseline share dealing service is free, but we charge for premium services. So think tax wrapped accounts, and we would be taking a percentage of all advisory fees through the platform. So think Airbnb.
So basically, they make money through fees that they charge on some of their accounts, primarily the stocks and shares ISA and the Freetrade Plus. I'll get into what the specific fees is, but the general invest account is the actual account which is completely free. So the account is free to open, and any transactions that you make through the Freetrade General Invest account are free. However, if you do decide to buy any foreign equities or shares or stocks that are not in the home account currency, so if for example you're in the UK and you trade and buy and put money into the account in the form of British pounds, but you want to buy a US stock, then you do get charged a 0.45% fees for each transaction as a spot fees when you buy and sell. So they do make a little bit of money there. And with the other way that they make money is through the stocks and shares ISA and the Freetrade Plus account. So the stocks and shares ISA is basically the same thing as the general invest account. The only difference is, of course, you get the ISA tax wrapper, which is the fact that it's protected. But so any investments that you purchases of stocks and shares that you make up to the tune of £20,000 are tax free for this tax year. However, there is no additional features, but you do have to pay a £3 per month fees on the stocks and shares ISA. Now this adds up to about £36 per year, and it's actually not that expensive if you have a lot of money. So if you had 10 or 20,000 pounds, then that £36 is actually quite minimalistic when you compare it to some of the other platforms out there in terms of the ongoing and maintenance charges that you get charged, in addition to the fact that you actually have free purchases of stocks and shares. The twist, however, comes in the fact that the general invest account and the stocks and shares account don't give you access to the entire universe of stocks and shares that are available on Freetrade. And that's when the Freetrade Plus account comes into play. So the second account that is paid for on Freetrade is called the Freetrade Plus account. And basically the Freetrade Plus account is available to people at a fee of £10 per month, and it includes the ability to create a stocks and shares ISA, but also you get access to the full universe of the stocks and shares that are available on Freetrade. So basically you're paying £10, you get the access to the ISA. You don't have to pay anything additional for the ISA account, and you get access to all of the stocks and shares and any new additions that are deemed to be premium by Freetrade. Now, apart from that, I don't actually see anything specifically different that Freetrade is offering on Freetrade Plus based on what I have seen. They do advertise that there are more features and more are coming, so maybe something will be rolled out further down the road. But at this particular point, there isn't anything more on the Freetrade Plus account. So how do you actually use and download the app? So basically the functionality is quite simple. You go onto your app store, search for Freetrade, you get the pink little branded logo that shows up, and you click download. And it's a pretty simplistic way of actually signing up to Freetrade. You basically just provide your basic personal information like your name, date of birth, and your national insurance number, and you can sign up for an account. The account creation process is actually really streamlined and straightforward. It's done completely through the app. And in case you are interested in opening a Freetrade account, for whatever reason, why not consider signing up for Freetrade through my referral link in the description below. If you do sign up through that link, you could be eligible for a free share worth up to £200. Just as full disclosure, if you sign up through that link, I get a free share as well. That way we both win. If you don't want to actually invest through Freetrade in the future, what you can do is you can just simply sell that stock once you've been allocated that and use that money for whatever other reason. So let's carry on with the app review, and let's go into my actual phone and look at some of the key features of Freetrade as a investment platform and how you can actually use it should you actually create an account with Freetrade. Right, so we're here on my phone and we're going to quickly walk through the Freetrade app. So if I just quickly go in and I open up the Freetrade app, it opens up on my landing page, which is my portfolio. Now, before I start looking at the portfolio page, I do want to clarify right at the bottom, you've got these different tabs that are available. So I'll quickly walk through each one of them and just give you a quick flavor for what's actually available on the app and how you can actually go about using it. So if you look at the first page, which is the portfolio page, it gives you sort of a quick snapshot of how much money you've got in the account and how your portfolio has done since inception. So here obviously I've got it set to max, but you can vary it by 7 days and 1 day as well. Obviously in my case, there's not a lot of money here, but that's primarily because I don't actually use Freetrade as my primary investment account. I have another account with another provider, but basically on here I've got the investments that I have actually invested in, which I made an investment in BP. I've got 3 shares here and I've gained about 2.43% since I made that investment. And right at the bottom is a watch list, which I can continually add or remove from specific investments or stocks that I am interested in. Now, the other thing then you can look at is the insights, which just basically gives you a bit of a breakdown on your portfolio. So more specifically, what is the cash holding that's available on your account, in terms of the type of investments that you currently hold. So obviously on here you can see that I have most of my holding in my portfolio in cash because I've made some deposits in there, and the rest of it in the form of the 27% is in BP. What I can also do is I can break it down by sector and the type of investments that I currently have, and this actually doesn't really provide any value in terms of insights apart from the fact that you can actually rebalance your portfolio if you have specified targets for what you want your portfolio to constitute of. Then onward you move into the Discover tab, and the Discover tab actually just gives you a quick overview of what are the stocks that are available within the Freetrade universe, and it just gives you a quick snapshot of what's been added recently, the different sectors that are available, and some of the other popular stocks. So I mean the detail of this tab is not really helpful because you wouldn't actually use this for investing. I mean, it may give you some ideas of what kind of stocks that are available on the platform, but not necessarily give you a focus on specific stocks that you may want to invest in. However, the main feature here is the search. So let's say you wanted to search for a UK equity, you could just search for Shell, look at the different stocks, and it gives you a quick snapshot of what the current stock price is on the right hand side, and then you can select that stock and then go into purchasing that stock. So now when you look at purchasing a particular stock, it is very important to note that buying specific stocks is done based on what value you want to invest in, as opposed to specific type number of shares. So this is quite important because what Freetrade actually does is it takes the total value that you're willing to purchase for, deducts the amount of shares that you can purchase for that value, and puts the balance back into your account. So if I were to buy 1 share of Shell, that would cost me about £13.5, and then the rest of the balance, because I wanted to put £20 in, will go straight back into my bank account. As you can see, there are no transaction costs that I am incurring through this. Now the flip side through this is though some of the niche stocks that you may want to purchase. So for example, here you've got Income Growth Trust. I don't know what that is, but it isn't actually available through this account because I'm using a general invest account. It's actually a plus option. Now if I select this, I won't actually be able to invest it because the buy option is actually grayed out. So this is that freemium model that I was talking about earlier. The final thing that you want to look at is the activity page, and this just gives you a quick summary of what's been going on the account. So I obviously created the account not too long ago, and I topped it up with a little bit of cash, and since then I've had some free shares which were assigned to me, and I've sold some of these shares and made a purchase in a specific stock. So this is a bit of a quick walkthrough of the Freetrade app, and I'll get into what my final thoughts on Freetrade as a app and investment platform are now. So in conclusion, I think the app and the functionality of the platform is really simple and easy to use. The interface is really clean, and the investments and the portfolio is very well laid out. However, there are a couple of downsides that you do need to be aware of. One being the fact that it's not actually free. So you have a small fees for the stocks and shares ISA, which is the preferred mechanism for investing. And the £3 per month, although it doesn't sound like a lot, if you only have a few £100 to invest, then it can get fairly expensive. However, if you've got a large chunk of change and you want to start investing it in the thousands or beyond 10 or 20,000, then that £3 is actually minimalistic from a stocks and shares perspective. And even the Freetrade Plus account actually makes sense if you want to have access to a broader market. However, the other flip side is the fact that the universe is not actually that big. So one of the things Freetrade advertises is that the FTSE 350 companies, or the 350 largest UK companies, are available on all of the accounts. But when I actually did search for some of the companies such as Rolls-Royce, which is one of the 350, it wasn't actually available. So the universe is still expanding, and it's something that you will probably have to deal with if you plan to make Freetrade your primary account. However, if you are a complete novice and a beginner, then this could be a great testing ground for you to actually just start investing a little bit money in the beginning, and then see how it goes as you get familiar with investing and whether you want to continue using it over a long period of time. So that's all I wanted to cover in this video. If you are interested in more investment platform reviews that I've covered in the UK, then I'll add links of those videos in the description below and in the end card. I'll hope to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching and sharing your time. Goodbye.